Afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for making it. My name is Diane Nguyen, and I am the Texas Medicare Patrol Director. Unfortunately, if you were here hoping to see the FBI, he couldn't make it today. So instead, our very own Dorian Dotson is going to present on the top 10 scams for 2023. It's just a list of scams that we've compiled that we think is relevant this year. So it's National Consumer Protection Week. It's our first day. There was a really great presentation this morning from CMS, and now the week continues on, and we're really excited about it. You can also learn more about National Consumer Protection Week if you just Google National Consumer Protection Week. It'll take you to the website there. Next, please. So always got to do the little spiel in the beginning, but what is the Senior Medicare Patrol? We're a federally funded program, and there's one in every state, including 4 territories. So there's 54 Senior Medicare Patrols in the US. The point of the Texas Senior Medicare Patrol is to recruit and train volunteers, professionals about Medicare fraud and abuse. We also have a hotline that you can call to report possible fraud to. Next, please. And our mission is to empower and assist Medicare beneficiaries, their families, and caregivers to prevent, detect, and report healthcare fraud, errors, and abuse through outreach, counseling, and education. You can also be part of the Texas Senior Medicare Patrol. We love volunteers. Especially those that really care about preventing this kind of fraud. There's a QR code if you're interested in it taking you to the website directly. You can also just type in our URL, texassmp.org/volunteer. Our volunteers do a variety of things. They can do presentations like I'm doing right now, stuff bags, go to health fairs. We have a ton of things that volunteers can do. So if you're interested, please visit our website. Next, please. And this is our hotline number. I'm sure this will also be shown at the end, but it's 888-341-6187. One of the best things about the hotline is there's no menu. There's no, press 1, press 2. It's just a real person that'll pick up the phone. And if they don't, that means that it's outside of business hours, or we're already on the phone with somebody else. Next, please. And speaking of volunteers, our very own Dorian Dotson is our volunteer coordinator, and she will be doing the top 10 scams of 2023. I don't know if we're having technical difficulties. I don't know if anybody can hear Dorian. Can somebody raise their hand if they can hear her? Can anybody hear me? Okay, so it looks like, can you guys hear Dorian? Can you raise your hand if you heard Dorian talk? I'm so sorry. They did not. Do you want to do it on my computer? I can share it on my end. Okay, she's gonna come do it on my computer. We're just gonna switch spots.
Okay, everyone, thank you for bearing with us. I hope that everyone can hear me now. We just had a slight technical difficulty, but that's okay. We're going to keep right on moving along here. We're going to jump right into these scams so we can bring this information to you. I hope that you can benefit from this. Okay, so one thing we just want people to know that scammers, they're good at keeping up with the news. So they're listening to the news, they're seeing the current events, and many times they will tailor their scams around current events to draw people in. And so one of the biggest things, our number 10 scam is just basically the communication, the online phone or if they're bold in person, which does happen. Scammers will find all sorts of ways to scam you. And it all starts with getting to you online through social media, through emails, advertisements, on the phone, text, phone calls, text messages, and again, like I said, if they're bold, even in person as well. And it's one of the ways that they're doing this, they can gain people's trust by spoofing. And what that means is they might call or text you from a phone number, and they can make it look as though it is that you're receiving a call from someone that you recognize. They can alter the caller ID to make it seem as though they're calling from a business or organization or someone that you're familiar with. That way, you know, you're already slightly comfortable when you answer that phone call, but be aware that the caller ID can fool you. So that's spoofing, and they're using that quite a bit. One of the ways, one of the recommendations, one of the things that we recommend is just don't pick up the phone for anyone that you do not know. Don't answer any texts that you receive on your phone from strangers. Avoid downloading or clicking on links in emails, especially those that you're not completely comfortable with. And don't let anyone that you don't know into your house, of course, and those that approach you on the street. Just be very, very cautious with all of those forms of contact. Another type of scam that we're seeing here is our investment scams. Scammers will try to get you to spend your hard-earned money with fraudulent investments. And so they may lure you in or try to, you know, tell you you're special. We have a special deal just for you, right? Or we have a deal of a lifetime. We are able to, you know, we can get you high returns on your rates. It's now or never, things of that nature. No. We recommend just slow down. It's okay to take your time, especially when you're dealing with something that has to do with your finances. They should allow you ample time to make those types of decisions. If it's a company that's reaching out to you, or a broker of some sort, you can research them on the FINRA site, Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. You can look into the background of any type of broker. Be prepared and have a script. And what that basically means is kind of think in advance before you receive these types of calls. You can say, well, my son is a lawyer, and I need to review all of my financial decisions with him before I can give you a response. Let me get your name and your information, and I'll contact you back if we're interested. Okay, so that takes away, you know, their power to force you to hurry up and try to make a decision, or to give them your information. If it is a legitimate financial opportunity, there's time. They will allow you time. So keep that in mind if you ever receive those types of calls where they're urging you to hurry up and make this decision, or limited time only. Be very cautious of those. Okay. Number 8, we see a lot of sweepstakes frauds. And they make it look great. They have these pop-ups that they can call or text you. You might receive a letter in the mail or email, or you might even run across things of this nature on social media. And they'll say that, you won something. Well, it's not so great, because then they'll say, well, you have to pay us, taxes on this before we can provide it to you, or there's a courier service that's involved with this, or you have to pay other tax titles, fees, of things of that nature in order to receive your so-called winnings, right? This is not so. Generally, you pay the fees or whatever titles or licenses or fees or whatever they're asking you for. And then, of course, it's a scam. And then you don't receive your so-called winnings. So we suggest, again, ignore those random emails that just seem to come from nowhere. Those emails, texts, or phone calls saying that, you won a prize just completely out of the blue. You can't win something that you didn't enter. Generally, you're not going to be a winner of this great sweepstakes or offer if you did not enter anything. So keep that in mind. And also, again, remembering, don't click on those random pop-ups. Avoid downloading any attachments and things of that nature, because that can lead to some bigger things. Number 7 is something we're really seeing a lot of as well. These money transfer apps can be connected to scammers are utilizing these forms of payments to scam people out of their money. So using these apps, they're convenient. You can easily transfer money to other people quickly using your phone. But here's the thing: once you send that money, it is gone. It's gone. It's out of your account, and that money's been sent to whoever's on the other end of that ID. It could be a spoofed account. You can think that you are paying someone specific, but the scammers have created an account that looks just like theirs, someone else's account. And this is a big one too. I have personally seen this. The oops, I accidentally sent you money. I don't know if any of you have seen this on some of these apps such as like Venmo, Zelle, Cash App. I've personally seen it myself, and it was actually very convincing. You have to be careful, because it was actually from a person that I knew in real life. It looked like it was from him, saying that, oops, I accidentally sent you some money. Can you send it back? That is absolutely a scam. You do not want to reply to that. You do not want to send any money back. It's a scam, and it's their way of getting your information, getting access to you, sending money to them. And then they have access to your account. So what we are recommending is, if you are using those types of payment apps, link your account to a credit card versus using your debit card, because that way it's a little easier to track. Many times credit card companies will have some features on there to follow, where the scam. They have ways to actually keep you from having all of your money, say, removed from your bank account. It's just a lot safer to utilize the credit card. And be wary of businesses that only accept these types of forms. Most businesses now do have, of course, legitimate ways for you to pay them, generally ways other than these types of apps. And then if you are sending money to someone using the apps, because we know they can be in a convenient and effective way, just be double check that you're sending it to the correct ID. Verify with the recipient before you actually send the money. And never send or accept payments from anyone that you don't know. It might sound great, say, someone says, hey, I'll send you some money through, Venmo or Cash App or whichever. Don't accept it if you don't know them. It keeps you safer and hopefully keep them from being able to, take your money. Make sure that you have very strong passwords. You want your passwords to be something that's not easily guessed by, just a random person. And keep your transactions private. Sometimes, they have where you can post, I sent this to whoever. Keep those things private, not sharing any of the information with anyone. And always check your bank accounts after you transfer the money. You want to make sure that the correct amount, you want to verify everything in your, that you sent. So that's half the battle there. Car warranty scams. We're seeing this one as well. This is when you may get a call claiming that your car warranty or your insurance is about to expire. The caller will claim to be from, a manufacturer, a car dealer, or some other insurer. Please understand, they are simply trying to get your personal information. So be very, very careful with those. Okay. Bear with me just a second, having a little difficulties. Okay. Okay, so what we recommend for the car warranty scams is don't give away your personal information. That includes your driver's license number. You want to keep that, to yourself as well. And again, as always, avoid answering calls from random numbers. They don't have your information, then they can't take your money. So that's the goal. This one is really, to me, is a really scary one, the tech support scams. And this one is where, you can receive a call or a pop-up on your computer. And it oftentimes can look like it's from Norton or Apple or Microsoft product. And they'll say that there's a problem with your computer. We can help you if you access or grant access to our tech support. We can go into your computer, into your hard drive and fix it for you. Well, to some people that aren't so computer savvy, this sounds like great help, right? They'll go ahead and they'll fix it for you from a remote location. This is very, very dangerous. Do not do this. Because they can gain access to all of the information that's in your computer. And many times, you have personal information, bank information, and all that in your computer or laptop. So you never want to grant access to your computer to someone that contacted you this way, in this manner, online. You don't want to do that. Because what they're going to do is go into your computer and steal all of your information. So avoid that at all costs. And do that by never clicking on those random pop-ups, never do business with tech support companies or whatnot that contact you over the phone or the internet. Here's another one, change your email and your social passwords. I know sometimes it gets so frustrating. We have a million passwords for so many different things. And sometimes it's hard for us to keep up with our own passwords. Well, you do want to change your emails and your email passwords periodically, because just in case someone has gained access to one of your accounts or whatnot, they may be able to guess other passwords. So, just be diligent and make sure that, you periodically change your passwords just in case someone has gotten that information over time. And again, choose those passwords that might be easy for you to remember, but harder for others to crack. So we're down to the number 4 scams that we're seeing, and they are those social media scams. You see some sometimes on Facebook, and what they can look like, they can be like gift exchange scams. Um, Phishing emails where, and that's just basically emails where, you know, they're pretending to be one thing and they're asking you for information. They may already have like your name and maybe one other piece of information. They can do some phishing just to get, say, maybe they might only need your date of birth or whatever. Basically, it can be also done, you know, they often use fake accounts on social media. It's very easy for anyone to create an account that looks similar to a person or a program or a business that you might be more comfortable with. Fake celebrity lives, fake shopping ads, fake links, all of these things are found on social media. So we have to be very careful about the way that we interact with all of these pop-ups and things on social media. I'll be honest, I, for a long time, wasn't quite sure about some of the shopping ads. Some of them are scams, so you have to be really, really careful. For example, here's something just to give you an idea of what it can look like. This is an example of the Secret Santa, Secret Sister Santa type gift exchange. It's crazy because again, personally, I have done gift exchanges with some Facebook groups that I was in previously. But you have to be super careful with that because again, this is a way that they're getting people's information. So for example, they'll say, hey, do you want to join this gift exchange? All you have to do is buy one gift valued at, you know, this amount or more and just send it to one person. And look, you'll receive 6 or almost 36 gifts in exchange for that. Doesn't that sound great? No, this can definitely be a scam and it's like a pyramid thing almost. So you want to steer clear of these types of so-called gift exchange. Here's another one. You can see how this looks just like something from Facebook, like a notification from Facebook, right? It says notification Facebook. However, when you look at that actual email, it has nothing to do with Facebook. That is not someone from the real Facebook company emailing you. It's lionscompany.com. That's something else. So this is what we mean by, you know, they make it look so convincing, but if you actually look at the actual details, there are some clues there that will, you know, help you see this is not quite right. So this, again, this is something that you want to avoid. So watch out for scammers pretending to be, you know, contacting you from Facebook. And here's the thing too, on Facebook and most social media platforms, you can look into your login history. And what that does is you are able to see where you supposedly logged in from. If there are locations and places that don't make sense, that don't coincide with you and where you've been or where you live, then you know someone may have access to your Facebook account and they're using it from another location. So that's one way you can kind of, you know, safeguard yourself and go look in your login history and see. Again, do not click on any suspicious links. If it looks strange, I would completely avoid it. And of course, don't give away any money or information to anyone that you don't know and that you can't confirm for sure that that is the person that you think that it is. Okay. We're moving right along here. I know that some of this can make you sick, no pun intended. Our number 3 is our number 3 scams are diabetic supply scams. We've seen a big spike in these, and what it looks like is on those that have Medicare, on their Medicare statement notice, we're seeing this pop up and it'll say continuous glucose monitoring. It's a device. And there are people that are not even diabetic, and this may show up on their MSN. This is something you definitely want to report. Because if they're charging it to your account or your Medicare number, they may be charging it to thousands of other people's Medicare number. It is a scam. So if you did not have that device, or this is not something that you have already discussed with your doctor that you're going to be receiving, then more than likely it is a scam. And what we recommend is that you call us. Call the Texas Senior Medicare Patrol hotline, or call Medicare. Well, you want to let Medicare know that your Medicare number has been compromised. So we do recommend that you take action immediately if you see something like this and you know that that should not be on your Medicare statement or billed to your Medicare number, okay? Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call us. And out of precaution, you can do it out of an abundance of precaution. It's okay if you call us. If we look at it and it happens to not be a scam, guess what? No harm, no foul. It's okay. We would rather for you to be sure about it than to ignore it and it continue to happen. So don't hesitate to call us, and don't hesitate to call Medicare. Believe me, both of us, Medicare as well as the Texas Senior Medicare Patrol, we don't mind you calling. We would rather for you to be safe. So number 2, we're getting down to it, is identity theft. And this is just something, we've seen this time and time again. The thing is that, the scammers, they're sitting there right now trying to think of a new way to scam people. And so they change, their methods, but at the end of the day, it all ends up being identity theft. So they want to receive or get your personal information so they can assume your identity and receive things that under your name. And so they'll be looking to steal your social security number. They'll be looking to steal your date of birth. They'll be looking to steal your banking information. They'll be looking to see how they can get your Medicare number. Sometimes they only need a certain combination of these details in order to steal your identity. So what we are suggesting again, check your credit report. That's one thing we want to make sure that you do. But don't give away your social security number, of course. Hold on tight to that social security number. Hold on to it as if it was your bank account information, as well as your Medicare number. You want to make sure that no one sees those numbers, has access to those cards, and that you don't share that information verbally, that you don't leave those things sitting around where someone else who should not have that information, gets it. One thing, and I will admit, I have done this, collect your mail every day. Collect your mail, because if you go ahead and get it out of the mailbox, that is less opportunity for someone else who has no business receiving your mail, as less opportunity for them to get to it first. It's also a way to stay on top of, if Medicare did send you a letter, because again, they don't make calls. You'll never receive actual call from Medicare. A lot of times they do send, letters if they needed to contact you. Same with Social Security, they generally will send a letter. But if you collect your mail, then you have, their letters that they receive. Again, monitor your credit. It's a good idea to monitor your credit. That way, if someone has stolen your identity, then 9 times out of 10, they've gone ahead to try to utilize your identity so that they can, receive goods. They might open accounts in your name, get credit cards in your name, all types of things. So looking at your credit just to make sure that everything on there is there because, you know, it should be there. And use, again, complex passwords. We don't want to underestimate the how effective that is. Changing your passwords. Make it hard. If they do steal your, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, it's difficult for them to guess your passwords, to use passwords you might have used in the past. So these are good ways to keep your information safe. And here we go. I'm sorry, let's do a drum roll. Our number one types of scams that we see so often right now, they're really big, is these emergency scams. They have several forms. So emergency scams, this could be, for example, the romance scam. We've seen this, the grandparent scam. The romance scam, you know, can look like someone that you may have met online, maybe a romantic interest. And then you know, you might develop a relationship online, and then all of a sudden, they're in an emergency. Okay. Now you've gotten to the point where you might care about this person. And oh my goodness. Well, of course, someone that you care about, if they're in an emergency or they have something that happens to them, you want to help them. Be so careful with this. You don't want to send money to someone you just met online. Many times it can be a scam, and they're tugging at your heartstrings. They might even say, I need money so that I can come see you. Don't do it. This also takes the form of the grandparent scam, whereas someone in your life, they might say, well, you know, it might be, they might pretend to be, you know, a grandchild or a child or a niece or a nephew or just someone that you care about. And they'll utilize that to say, hey, this person needs help. They might have, you know, gotten arrested or something. For whatever reason, they might automatically come up with some emergency situation, and they need your money, your help to get them out of this. Be so careful with this. Here's another one. They might also, you know, pose as the IRS. You owe us money. We're going to come and arrest you. Jury duty. You didn't show up. You have to pay this fee now so that we don't come and arrest you. This is a scam. The IRS generally doesn't. They'll send letters generally. So you want to be super careful with that. And this is all of this to say, at the end of the day, you want to be very, very careful, for one, about the information that you share with anyone. Just safeguard that information as much as you can. And just stay on top of your credit and check your Medicare statements. And that is half the battle. And again, if you just so happens, because again, this can happen to anyone. I'll be honest, I still get emails and texts from certain places that they're not legitimate. They work really hard at disguising themselves in order to receive your information. So thank you all so much for listening. I hope that this was information that you can benefit from. Share this information with other people. Knowledge is power. So the more people that know how these scams work, that are aware of what's going on, the harder it is for these scammers to get away with what they're trying to do. So keep this information for yourself, and then also share it with others, so that hopefully we can help everyone to avoid this type of fraud. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you so very much, and stay safe. Thank you.
All right, everyone. I don't see any questions, but if there are questions, please feel free to email me or Dorian. Thank you so much for tuning in to our afternoon, and we hope to see you the rest of the week. All right, everyone, have a good afternoon. Take care. Bye-bye.